Greetings Multiverse, and I'm here to talk, or rather rant, about the state of DC video games right now in September 2021. This is following Thursday night's extraordinary PlayStation showcase, which brought two new AAA Marvel games featuring massive top-tier Marvel heroes, along with a new cool trailer for a Marvel game that is coming next month that we already knew about, Guardians of the Galaxy, Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine, the really big shock of the show as far as I'm concerned. And of course, earlier on in the month we had Marvel Midnight Suns revealed, which is more of a quirky game, but so what have we got? We've still got Marvel's Avengers still going, whether or not it's still an Avengers game, still a AAA Avengers game as out now and still getting stuff added to it. Just had War for Wakanda and Spider-Man is coming to it. Imagine that as Justice League. Just imagine that. Even the same quality. Imagine that with Justice League and knowing we were going to be getting, what, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman coming very soon. Yeah, we've got Guardians of the Galaxy coming soon. We've got Marvel's Midnight Suns, the weird sort of card collecting XCOM game, which looks quite quirky, but we're at a point now, a quirky game is a nice little aside from the main big AAA experiences. So there are so many Marvel games now, so many big ones that we expect, that they can now do quirky ones as well. We've got a really big mobile game in the form of Marvel Future Revolution that's just launched, and it's great. It's everything you could possibly want from a mobile game, an open world mobile game. It's a lot of fun. Spider-Man, of course, we had Spider-Man PS4 and Miles Morales, both of which were extraordinarily good, and soon we'll be getting a sequel, Spider-Man 2, with both of them in it, and Venom, and possibly Kraven the Hunter, and of course, yeah, Wolverine. Yeah, the same people who have done two great Spider-Man games so far, and Ratchet and Clank this year, which is a Game of the Year contender, and now setting their sights on doing a Wolverine game. And Wolverine is a perfect video game character. Possibly even more so than Spider-Man, possibly even more so than Batman. He's a guy with a regenerative healing factor who relies solely on action, and now he's getting another game. He's already had a great Wolverine game made out of a crappy movie, so with an actual piece of effort and more time and a really decent studio behind him, it could be amazing. Really could be. And he is a major Marvel hero as well. Everyone knows who he is, and it's about time he's got another game, and he's getting one from the Spider-Man developers. So that's a lot of Marvel content. Don't even say Guardians of the Galaxy coming out next month, made by Eidos Montreal, the creators of Deus Ex Human Revolution and Mankind Divided, two of my favourite games in the last 10 years. All great development studios. Very few of them are connected. There are problems with each and every one of these things, but at the same time, they are games. Marvel has loads of games out there. Let's move on to DC and discussing why this is such a big deal. Here's our next DC game. I am really excited for Gotham Knights. I've done dozens of videos on it already. It looks a lot of fun, and WB Montreal I trust. Batman Arkham Origins I think is my favourite comic book game. Seriously? Certainly in terms of story, and I'm excited for this one, and hopefully at Fandome we'll be getting the release date. So yeah, supremely excited. We've also got Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League from Rocksteady, the creators of the Arkham series, coming up, and I'm also really excited for that. Yes, I have got a slightly salty video on it, but I'm still excited for it. Yes, it may be a shooter, a team-based live service shooter, but I am excited for it. Absolutely. I'm excited for anything Rocksteady does, especially anything does regarding the DC universe and regarding the Arkhamverse continuing, the most successful shared universe in video games, in comic book video games. Marvel have not got that. Marvel have not got a shared universe. We do. DC does. This is great. This is wonderful. These are the only two games that we have announced. There are only two DC games announced, and both of them are slightly similar. I'm sure they'll play differently. Well, this one's a shooter for a start, as I keep on mentioning, and this could possibly be up to 4 players. Whereas Gotham Knights is, of course, 2 players. There's dynamic duos in that, despite having 4 characters. Well, 4 characters so far. And I think that's not going to be live service. That's going to be just like traditional game release with some DLCs. Whereas this will probably be live service, so it'll be ongoing. They'll keep on adding new characters to it. I mean, yeah, you can have outfits, customizable outfits, hopefully Injustice 2 style, but also new characters. But they risk falling down the Avengers issues, which may get it delayed. But yeah, still all very exciting news. Now let's go on to DC Fandome. This is next month, 5 weeks say. I think it's 5 weeks from now we're going to be getting DC Fandome. Hopefully with a lot of new announcements. Now, what do DC have to do? They have to have video game announcements too. We know that both Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League will be there. Hopefully with new gameplay, hopefully with release dates for at least Gotham Knights. We need more. After what Marvel has been doing, after what they just did with the PlayStation Showcase, there needs to be more. There needs to be a CGI trailer of whatever WB Montreal are cooking up as their next game. Even if it's years away, even if it's still early in development, it shouldn't be early in development at this point, we need the next game announced. It can be Superman, it can be Wonder Woman, it can be Justice League, but it needs to be announced. It needs to be something special, and it needs to be announced so we can get excited about it. I've had rants like this before. Every single time that Rocksteady and WB Montreal didn't show up at somewhere like E3, saying that we need these trailers so we can get excited about them, so we can drive ourselves nuts talking about them. Because that's what other companies do. That's what Marvel just did. And Warner Brothers sat on their hands until it finally announced Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and then sat on them again for another year. That is not releasing those trailers in a timely manner when you're ready to announce them. That is just generally announcing them. That's exactly what Marvel just did, but they try to dress it up as if they were waiting and doing the correct thing for fans. But this is true. We want to know then they're actively replying to Marvel, countering them. All DC has to do, all Warner Brothers have to do, all WB Montreal has to do is show their second game, and it be Superman, Wonder Woman, or Justice League. If it's one of those 3 games, one of those 3 franchises, we are going to go nuts. And instantly they will be countering Marvel. Notice that out of all the Marvel games I mentioned, only the team ones have female characters. If they announce a Wonder Woman game, they're done. They're just done. Superman is honestly probably more recognisable than Spider-Man or Wolverine. Certainly more than Wolverine. And he needs a new game stats. Spider-Man is going to be a single-player adventure, which is good, that's my jam. There's a problem though, it's a single-player adventure in New York. I'm excited for Spider-Man 2, I'm deeply excited for it, but how far can you push being Spider-Man in New York after Spider-Man PS4 and Miles Morales? Everyone expects them to do co-op between the two, sort of like Gotham Knightsy. They're not doing that. They're just making another single-player Spider-Man game in New York. They can tweak the gameplay a bit, but seriously, how far can they truly tweak the gameplay to have exactly the same level, exactly the same open world? I mean, New York hasn't changed. They can add more detail, they can add more people. They already had loads of people already. They can add more detail, they can add better graphics. Can they really better Spider-Man PS4 and Miles Morales? In terms of gameplay, they can add things to it, but they can't really do much extra. They can't move Spider-Man to another city because he's connected to New York, really. That's part of the appeal. But they've already done the perfect open world Spider-Man game and a cool expansion. So how do they do a second one? I mean, yes, you can have a new story, you can have better graphics, you can have new characters, you can have Venom, obviously. The gameplay is not going to change dramatically, and the level, the open world New York, is not going to change dramatically either. So they're kind of a little bit screwed in a way, so it's not going to be quite as satisfying. I remember when Batman Arkham Origins came out and everyone was complaining about the fact that most of that map is the Arkham City map. Even though it's really, really tweaked, it's got twice as big a play area to explore in, and it's covered in snow, and it's actual pre-collapse Gotham City, and yet people complained about it. What's Spider-Man 2 going to be like when it's the exact same city? They can't even fictionalise it. It is New York. The realism in here is actually hurting Spider-Man 2. Anyway, but that's a side point. But this is the thing. This is what DC can capitalise on. The most exciting Marvel game coming out, Spider-Man 2, already has an Achilles heel, which DC can exploit. I am just a regular gaming person. I've been in the games industry for a while. I've been a DC fan all my life. And I do not have any say at DC or Warner Brothers whatsoever. But this is what they need to do. They're the business people. They're the ones wanting to make games. They're the ones who keep on hiring Marvel directors. But yeah, I don't want to get too salty in this rant because we have this. This is almost mythical level. I want to keep calm. I want everyone else to keep calm for now, because we have this event coming up. Last Fandome, we got Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League finally announced. After years of waiting, we finally got them announced. If Fandome 2 Electric Boogaloo is as good as the last Fandome, or we get as many games from it and more on Suicide Squad and Gotham Knights, I will be utterly satisfied, and DC will have proved itself relevant and competing with Marvel again. Even if they're just like little CGI trailers with no release date attached saying they're early in development. Exactly what Marvel did. I will be satisfied knowing those games are real, they're coming, they're confirmed, they're not getting cancelled, so they have confidence in them. Will we get that though? That's the big question. That's the big worry. Are we actually going to get those game announcements? I don't know, is the trouble. I would like to think we do. If it's just Injustice Free, which even now is in doubt. If it's Injustice Free, then I will be slightly satisfied, but it's a bit too predictable. If it's another Batman game, I will again be slightly satisfied, but again, that's far too predictable. I don't right now want another Batman game until they've announced Superman and Wonder Woman, the bare minimum. Preferably Justice League as well. They have to get those 2 or 3 out of the way before they do another Batman game. It's just the rules now. You can go back to wells you've already done after you've branched out a bit. Now, Suicide Squad and Gotham Knights are branching out, but we do also need the bigger ones. We do need Superman. We need a proper Superman game. I will accept Justice League. I will accept Wonder Woman, but we need this Superman game. If there was ever a time when we needed Superman, it's right now. I'm talking about here about DC gamers worldwide. And are we going to get him? That's the rumour. That's the rumour that WB Montreal, their next game, is going to be a Superman game. And if true, it needs to be announced right now to say that DC saying that they have confidence in it. It's not getting cancelled. Here it is. Get excited. And I will. If that is the only DC game announced at DC Fandome, I will go nuts. I'll be slightly sad it's the only one, but if they announce Superman and Injustice Free, I will be more than happy. They do, however, need to branch out. Absolutely. I mean, this Marvel is proving itself. This is branching out right now. This is Fortnite, obviously. DC are handing their characters to Fortnite, just like every other licensee on the planet, including Marvel. But this is working out for them. They've got me to play Fortnite just because Superman, Wonder Woman and Batman are in it. After years of me resisting it, I've finally fallen for it, thanks entirely to Superman and Wonder Woman. So DC can do this. DC are capable of branching out. They used to do it all the time. Look at this. Look at these nonsenses. They used to do it. They used to produce great, fun little games by giving their characters to other licensees. This one's still not available on anything other than the Wii. And it's fantastic. This is way forward. The creators of Shantae and Blood Rain Betrayal and loads of other great games. And this is only available on the Wii. If I want to play this fantastic DC game, I have to dig out my Wii U. This is actually a cool God of War game. It's a Green Lantern game. I think I actually kind of prefer this to the movie, and it's based on the movie. This is still probably the best Justice League game with Justice League in the title ever made. And why haven't we got more like this? Why wasn't this slightly better? Ridiculous. And this, remember this? I've got a review of it. DC have proven themselves capable of branching out to other studios and other licensees. But if this is the best that they can do, no, of course it's not. Of course it's not the best they can do. But they prove they can. They can give their licenses to make even system exclusives. Still, I don't really want system exclusives from DC because I don't like that from Marvel. I don't like the fact that I'm going to have to buy a PS5 to play Wolverine and Spider-Man 2. I want to play it on PC, as God intended. Likewise, I don't like the fact that I can't play Batman the Brave and the Bold, the video game, on anything but Wii. Well, okay, I can emulate it. But that's not the same. Why are they keeping so many of the things in-house? Why haven't they reached a way forward or .emu to make like an arcade-style Justice League game in the style of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Batman the Brave and the Bold, but just for all platforms? That would be great. That would be great. Why don't they? Because they need to. They really need to. We need more. We need more DC games out there. Marvel are killing it in the video game world. DC need to catch up. And DC can catch up and do it with better quality. Same with movies. They can do that. But they're choosing not to. This all comes down to DC Fandome, basically. DC Fandome will prove whether or not DC are still relevant or not to the wider gaming audience as well, or still have what it takes to compete. I'm talking about video games entirely. I'm ignoring any other announcement at DC Fandome, but I will wait and see. We will wait and see. Will DC prove that they got the chops to announce some things and actually announce a new game? We haven't had any teasers towards it. We were teased to both Suicide Squad and Gotham Knights, and not teased to anything else here. We'll see. DC Fandome in a few weeks' time. And I will hopefully be doing a live stream of some sort. I don't know where I'll be then. Who knows where any of us will be in a month's time. But hopefully I will see if I can do a live stream. Perhaps even with my Inside the Multiverse buddy Delalia Plays. Delalia, I don't know if you're watching this. Hope you've got your new PC by then, which will be a lot of fun. But will they announce any more DC games? Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Until then, I'll be playing Fortnite furiously. But what do you guys think? Do you think DC are going to announce anything more at Fandome? Do you think I'm overreacting a bit? What did you think of the PlayStation announcements? Do you think DC needs to do more than just Suicide Squad and Gotham Knights? Let me know in the comments below or on the Inside the Multiverse Discord server, which you'll find a link to in the description below. Please like, share and subscribe, that already helps me out, and check out more videos, including rants on DC Comics Gamer. I've got plenty of ones about Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad called the Justice League now. It's a shooter. At some point I'm going to have to start streaming Fortnite with me as Superman, aren't I? Who knows? Maybe I will. Sometimes I actually nearly maybe not win. Stay tuned for Fandome. Hopefully know a lot more. And please, please let there be a Superman or Wonder Woman or Justice League game announced at Fandome. DC gods, new gods, old gods, whatever. Dark side, yeah, I'll take it. Deal with the devil. Yeah, for now, Multiverse out.